something betrayal. And so we're going to break that down. And the purpose is at one, so you don't become a spiritual Judas. Don't be so spiritually blinded by your ambition and by your greed and by your wanting something that you become something that God does not honor. And there are things, there are people, as God began to speak to me in my secret place, that He is against even right now, that I have not released. I'm not going to unless God gives me clarity. That He is against right now because of the contents of their heart. And you always have to understand something that God knows what's in people's hearts. So we can all sit here and judge Judas, but you don't want to become one. That's number one. And number two, you don't want to be deceived by Judas. Now, I've heard people say, well, everybody has a Judas, and we justify inappropriate relationships. We justify disobedience. We justify, well, it's kind of like when people are caught in sin and they say, well, everybody sin. Everybody, you can't judge nobody. Well, just because everybody has sin in their life and just because Christ died on the cross for our sins does not mean we set ourselves up to that. Well, there's some juices that you didn't have to experience, some pains you don't have to experience. You know what I mean? If you just follow the leading of the Lord. And I liken it to this. I wrote this in one of my books. I don't even remember. I've written so many books. I don't remember what book I wrote it in. Um, you're going to have times of trouble. Job said, man that is born of a woman, which is every one of us, all of us are born of a woman, is going to have some trouble. But let's say, but you don't want to add to the trouble. If you got, let's say, for example, you go into a court and and the judge say, "I'm gonna give you 2 years." To add to your trouble, say, "Oh, you know what, Judge? I'm guilty. So, because I'm guilty now, I know that I'm only supposed to get 2 years, but Judge, I take the 15. I take more pain. I take more hurt. I deserve more. So I'm gonna spend 15 more years in pain when I really only supposed to spend 2." That's how it happens when we don't ignore, when we allow certain things in our lives. So let's keep going, y'all. I know I'm